And if you're looking for something fun for your spring breaker to do, you can enter them into an art contest for some college funds. And joining us to share more about that is Mississippi State Treasurer David McRae. Hey, David.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
This sounds like a great thing for students pre-K through 12 while they've got some time on their hands, although I don't know the actual timeline for the art contest. But why don't you share with us what the State Treasury is doing for students?
Well, so every year we have an art contest down here at the State Treasury where the theme this year is what you want to be when you grow up. So we're giving away around $3,000 worth of scholarships, like you said, through kindergarten through 12th grade. Don't worry, we've grouped up the kids, so, kindergartens aren't competing against the 12th graders, so they're competing within their age group. But we're doing these scholarships, and I'm excited to do this. Every year they've done it. They did it before I was treasurer, and we have the winners from each group in the halls up here at the Treasury, and it's just an amazing the great work that these kids can do.
Is this through the schools, David, or can parents listening to Good Things or grandparents get online and maybe sign their students up? Is there a deadline to it?
Well, what you can do is you can go to treasury.ms.gov, and right there on the front page is the sign-up form. So you just go to treasury.ms.gov, you go right there. It's right there to sign up. You can sign up, like you said, the parents can sign up the child. Of course, the child needs to draw it, but and everything. but it's just very simple to do, and the amount of work that comes through is just incredible. But I do know some schools have been doing it. My daughter's school over at St. Andrews, they have done it and have encouraged their art students to be doing it for the last couple of weeks.
Well, this is an opportunity for your children to win up to $3,000 worth of scholarships, but the Treasury's office have other opportunities for parents to make sure that college is paid for or at least saved up for, even if they don't win the art contest, right, David? Because you have the college savings opportunities, and I think this is always a good thing to remind parents and grandparents and even students of that this is out there.
Well, that's exactly correct. We have two programs here at the State Treasury that we give out through Mississippi. We do through Mississippi. We have a prepaid college tuition plan, and we have a savings account type of plan. Both are great plans. On our website, there's a great description about what each plan does, if it's flexible for you. And I highly, highly encourage for anybody listening today, a parent, a grandparent, a friend, anybody can sign, go to the treasury.ms.gov and kind of look what it does and which one fits with what you want to do. Some have certain tax benefits, which, I need to say call a tax attorney or tax professional to kind of understand all that. But we detail it very well on the website. And, it is just so important to start saving for college. As a parent, I've done it. I've started saving for my three children to go to college. I have a 10, a 6, and a 5. So I've already started doing it. And the average average young adult graduates from college in Mississippi with $30,000 worth of debt. And I stress this so much because it's going to impact them upon graduation. And as a parent, the worst thing to me would be if my children graduated with debt. And and you want a child to graduate with as little debt as possible so that it doesn't impact their life decisions upon graduation when, the world is so new and you got so many opportunities ahead of you.
Well, and I also think it's just a neat thing to do. I know a lot of grandparents in at least our friend circle have taken advantage of this, David, as a way to sort of put into it for birthdays, for Christmases or Easters or whatever that may be, especially when they're younger and maybe they don't understand what gifts mean yet, or even when they are older, you can sort of split the difference and not just get them more quote-unquote junk or something that they need. And so especially like grandparents feel like they're doing something for their future, paying into it every little bit or helping mom or dad pay into it. So there's a lot of unique ways I've seen families sort of work utilizing the college savings opportunities that Mississippi provides for families. So lots to look for.
Well, and that's exactly correct. And you hit the nail on the head. It's not just parents who give these to their children or grandparents who are giving it to their grandchildren. They're friends who give it as birthday gifts, as gifts for graduation, or that's a little late, but birthdays or any other things that come up in life of a celebration event, they start, giving these college savings accounts to these children and start saving ahead. And that's the name of the game. Is you just want to start saving for college as soon as you possibly can. It is an expensive endeavor. It's not getting any cheaper, and that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And anytime you can start saving early in anything in life, that is always a good thing.
And even if you can't get it fully funded, at least partially saved, any savings going towards their education, they will be appreciative of when they get there, whether they realize it or not. And I know Mississippi is appreciative of what your office is doing, David, because you've helped to protect the state's credit rating. And when I think about the student debts being $30,000 is the average for Mississippi students, I'm like, whoo, that starts you out sort of, on an uphill climb. But so tell us about credit rating and how you guys are working to at least keep our states looking good.
Well, our state's credit rating is in good shape, in very good shape. And last August, in my office and the governor's office, we worked a deal out to save the state roughly $36 million. About 3 weeks ago, I had a talk with the credit rating agencies and maintained our good credit rating of a AA. And then a couple weeks after that, we ended up selling some bonds. And we outperformed the state of Ohio, the city of Baltimore, and the state of Texas. And so our little AA-rated state has outperformed these big, giant places. And that just goes to show you that we are doing great here in Mississippi. We have endured the pandemic. We've endured COVID. And we're just kind of chugging right along, and I think we're in great shape for the future.
Okay, David, so I have a silly question. So I know whenever I want to go purchase something like a car or a house or whatever it may be, I get my credit score ran to make sure that I'm good for it. What exactly would the state need we don't want a bad credit rating, but what does a good credit rating sort of either do for us or just sort of mean that's been going on?
So that's exactly the way you just framed it is the best way to frame it. When you go and borrow money for a credit rating determines how we borrow money and how much we borrow it for. So when you go and buy a house or a car, you get what your interest payment is going to be every month. So if you have good credit, you get a good interest rate. If you have bad credit, you get a bad interest rate. So the better our credit rating is, the better we can start borrowing money for projects here in Mississippi. The better we can start doing other things and not have to pay so much interest every quarter and hurt our taxpayers. So it ends up saving the taxpayers in Mississippi a whole lot of money.
Now that I can understand, and that's pretty cool. And you've got a whole lot of money, too, with the little bit of time we have left to give back to Mississippians through your unclaimed property. I never want to leave off an opportunity for you to get one of our listeners some cash. So how does that work? And then round us back where we can go to get all the information you've talked about today on good things.
Perfect. Unclaimed property, last year we ended up giving back to the people of Mississippi roughly around $20 million. It may have been closer to 21. So we gave back $20 million to the people of Mississippi. And to me, that's like a great economic relief program that didn't cost the taxpayers a single cent. And so I'm very, very proud about that. We currently have 570,000 individual parcels waiting to be claimed up here at unclaimed property at the Treasury. And you can go to treasury.ms.gov, go to the unclaimed property section and search your name. And there's a new thing I'm really excited about is that instead of doing the paper form, we have now made it where it's electronic. You can do the paper form. We have no problem doing paper, but you can now click on the click That's Me button, fill out the paperwork, and it'll be instantly sent to us here at Unclaimed Property, and it'll be taken care of immediately.
So you can do that and get you some cash. You can sign up your student for the art contest, get them some cash, and then you can start a college savings program to save cash for for the future, right? Do we cover it all?
We covered it all, and the biggest thing is that you can go to treasury.ms.gov, learn which college savings program works best for you, and the savings account that I was talking about earlier, you can start that for just as little as $25. So just for $25, you'll start planning for your child's future.
And then that'll let your child know that you are encouraging them to be whatever they want to be when they grow up. David, did you know you wanted to be the Mississippi State Treasurer when you grew up?
Well, I knew I wanted to do something in leadership. Treasury, I wasn't sure, but I've enjoyed every second of my job.
Well, you're doing pretty good, and we appreciate your time always here on Good Things, so you're welcome back. So thank you today.
Thank you very much.